Katie, Maya, and I, fake names, were college roommates. We're all now in our early 30s. Katie got divorced 2 years ago because she caught her husband cheating with Maya. The stress was a lot, and she also had a loss, was in the hospital for a month, and suffered from a psychological breakdown. Maya was apparently too ashamed to even visit Katie or apologize in person, and our entire friend group cut her off. Katie's ex moved to another city, and no one kept in contact with him. Throughout the entire time that I've known Maya, her personality was being the affair baby. She was spoiled rotten by her mom, who is her dad's mistress, and has no remorse for it. Her wealthy dad paid for her college flat, bought her a house, and covered her in money because he felt guilty that she came from a broken home. However, Maya kept complaining about how she grew up poor. Her mom's a PR manager and earns a lot, and how we wouldn't know how to grow up like her. We felt very sorry for her, and both Katie and I babied her a lot. Maya's mom, Lisa, fake name, actually defended her daughter when the affair came to light and told everyone that it was not her daughter's fault. Throughout these 2 years, Lisa has tried and failed to get Maya back with her friends, and Lisa's lost a lot of friends and relatives in the process because no one wants to associate with them. Here's the issue. Our alma mater has a very tight alumni network. Maya's actions resulted in no one being willing to be a reference when she wanted to change jobs. Our batch comes together every year and organizes a bake sale for a charity we worked for during undergrad. Maya has been unofficially banned since last year, as no one wants a scene. This year, however, Maya and her mom turned up with cupcakes, lots of them. Neither my husband nor I looked at them or talked to them. Katie left as soon as they arrived, and I was seething. Lisa said these cupcakes are a family recipe and part of their legacy. I then asked her, "Really? I thought your family legacy was homewrecking." Maya turned red and she and her mom excused themselves and left, with the cupcakes. Whatever. Later, one of our old classmates told me that he understood where I was coming from, but it might have been too rude. Lisa texted me from a new number, her number's blocked, on how I'm a misogynist person who blames only women, then called me when I texted back. I told her that as Katie's lawyer, I bled her ex dry in the divorce. Hopefully, her daughter would have a genuine relationship someday with someone else's husband. Lisa called me a witch and hung up. My husband thinks I'm right, but 2 more classmates have told me I was too harsh, and I'm now doubting myself. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Maya hasn't even been woman enough to face Katie. She and her mother tried to force their presence, thinking nobody would create a scene. They got what they deserved. The apple really doesn't fall far from the tree. Darn cupcakes. Maya and her mom thought a bunch of cupcakes would smooth over ruining someone's life? Nah, I hate people who do horrible things and expect to be welcomed back when time has passed without making any amends. They should be hanging their heads in shame, especially Maya. She's a coward and needed her mommy for backup. You don't do that to your friends and think everyone will forgive you. And who thinks cupcakes are a legacy food? Legacy recipe my butt. They bought those cupcakes. That isn't impressive. They thought that if they turned up unannounced, people would be too polite to cause a scene, and they could stay, and possibly worm their way back with at least some of the group. Enter OP, who woke up that day and chose violence. I applaud you. They deserved nothing less. I, female 25, am currently 28 weeks pregnant. My husband, 31, and I have been married for 2 years, and this is our first child. Having just entered my 3rd trimester, I'm getting very nervous and excited, and a lot more symptoms of pregnancy are happening. The bump has also gotten huge. One of my biggest symptoms now is constant cravings for things I don't even normally eat. I'm not a vegetarian or vegan, but I normally don't eat red meat like steaks or burgers because I don't find it appealing. However, for the past week, all I can think of was a bacon cheeseburger, LOL. It's all I wanted. 2 days ago, I asked my husband to make them. He laughed and said he would, but then he didn't. He claimed to forget I wanted them. Then yesterday, I was going to make them, but I was devastated to find out we didn't have bacon. I literally cried. My husband told me I was being a bit dramatic, and I'm sure I was, but the hormones hit, and I just cried. So today, I asked him if he could please pick me up from a local restaurant, and I would order us bacon cheeseburgers. He was very annoyed and told me, "Shouldn't you be really focused on your health right now?" I replied by saying I am, but the baby wants bacon cheeseburgers. He didn't think it was funny and lectured me on how he thinks it's unhealthy to include things in my diet that I don't originally eat. He topped off the lecture by asking me how much weight I had gained since becoming pregnant. I weighed 128 pounds before pregnancy. I weigh 149 now. My doctor says that's a healthy weight. I cried again, of course, and my husband begrudgingly got me the food that I wanted, but not without some snappy replies. I told him later, after I had collected myself, that it was incredibly rude to say that about my weight and also about my health. I am fine and healthy, according to my doctor. He snapped back and told me that he was allowed to be concerned about my diet and my health when I was carrying his baby. Who's TA here? 1 cheeseburger in your 3rd trimester and you've only gained 20 pounds? 1 darn bacon cheeseburger causes him to throw a hissy fit about your weight? Wow, I'm sorry you married an idiot. Your husband isn't concerned about his child's health. He wants to make sure you don't get fat. He's the idiot. Yep, we have a friend whose husband pulled this BS. He didn't want her to get too fat. My husband tried to explain that cravings were normal and that weight gain was important. He suggested what he did for me. I got hangry, so he had little stations with healthy but also craving-related snacks. People scoff at my husband when he describes making me little snack bags for my purse, but it was amazing. He did this while I was breastfeeding and pumping too. I was forgetful, but he never complained, just ensuring I had what I needed. Pregnancy is hard. Caring for newborns is hard, and husbands who carry their parent duties and make that extra effort are worth their weight in gold. Ah, amazing. My purse was full of lemon drops and cheese when I was pregnant. OP is not the idiot. The husband sounds like the type of guy who expects the woman to instantly bounce back to pre-pregnancy weight, cooking and cleaning and bedroom duties. Yuck. Pregnancy cravings are real, acute indicators of nutrients you might need more of. Women report literally wanting to eat chalk, nails, lick the cement outside, drink that meat juice right from the packaging, usually because they lack iron and calcium. If it's a safe food and you're thinking about eating nothing else for days, you better go eat that and maybe get some blood work to test for iron deficiency. It's iron most often. 1 cheeseburger? Good grief. That man has lost the plot. Last weekend, my 19 male girlfriend, 19, came over to my mom's house. My girlfriend and I are home for the summer from college. She wanted to lay out and tan, so we just sat out on the back patio. My mom comes out to check on a few plants, and my girlfriend says, "Want to get me some water?" My mom said she was busy, couldn't grab the water, and returned to the house. About 2 minutes later, my girlfriend gets up and enters the house. About 5 to 10 minutes go by, and nobody's come back out. So I go into the house and hear them screaming at each other. Of course, I showed up and everyone wanted to get me back up to speed. My mom's points were that my girlfriend demanded water instead of asking. She didn't say please, didn't think to go get it herself, came in the house and told my mom it wouldn't have been hard to bring water out. My girlfriend's points were that she didn't mean for it to come off like a command. She forgot the please and got caught up in the moment when she came into the house and things got confrontational. My mom told me I needed to help my girlfriend learn how to talk to people. My girlfriend told me I needed to help my mom realize that not everything is a slight against her. I told them I wasn't up for this and went back outside. My girlfriend followed me, telling me my mom thinks she's a brat and was mad that I didn't stick up for her. Later, my mom told me I shouldn't have let my girlfriend yell at her. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. Your girlfriend was out of line and flat out rude. Do you let all your guests treat your mother like she's a servant? If I were that mom, the girlfriend would be banned from the house. The entitlement is off the charts. It wouldn't have been that hard to bring water out. Your mother is a saint for not dragging your girlfriend out of the house by her hair after that comment. I probably would have turned the hose on her. Here's your water. Your girlfriend has the manners and perception of a rock. Your mom did you a favor by discovering how demanding and self-centered she is now. Later, when you're engaged or married, you start siding with your partner. But at 19, you back your mom. I, nearly adult male, have a complicated blended family history that I should try to explain. Dad and Mom had me and my sister, Callie, teen female. Mom died when Callie and I were preschoolers. Dad was never that close to his family, but Mom was close to hers, and Callie and I were close to them too. Dad was not. My dad's wife had her oldest, young teen, before she got married for the first time. With her ex-husband, she had 2 kids, tweens. During her first marriage, she and her husband took in his nieces, tween and pre-tween. Her ex-husband and his whole family got arrested, and her nieces didn't know their father. So she kept them and raised them, with my dad. She also took custody of her nephew, pre-tween, while she and my dad were dating. I could be a little off on the timeline. This stuff happened, but of course, I didn't know her during most of it. Now they have 2 toddlers together. They've been married for 6 years. They only dated for 14 or 15 months, and she started dating Dad while she was in the middle of her divorce. Of all the kids in our house, my sister and I are the only ones with extended family in our lives, including our maternal grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. Dad's parents didn't want anything to do with kids that weren't blood, so Dad finally stopped all contact with his family, though his family never cared much for Callie or me either. His wife's parents are dead, and her brother isn't around for his son, and the mother of his son and her family aren't involved. Her ex-husband's family are still in prison, and the father of his nieces are still unknown. My maternal family doesn't want to be involved in the others, just Callie and me. This annoys my dad and his wife, and the kids get upset because they want to have more people too. They want to go to barbecues and grandparent sleepovers and cousin sleepovers, but just Callie and I get that. It's become such a huge deal that my dad and his wife tried to tell Callie and me that we couldn't see our family as much. They tried to take advantage of the global issue by making us all do family things together, hoping we wouldn't tolerate the other kids being excluded if we loved them more than our maternal side. It didn't work. Dad told Callie and me recently that he was putting his foot down and that we would no longer talk to our family. He said he was a bad influence and taught us to close off our hearts to our family. He said he never should have let things continue this long. He said it wasn't fair to the other kids and what they were going through. I asked him why his stepkids and his younger bio kids are more important to him than Callie and me. Why is their happiness and their wants more important? Dad told me I wasn't being logical or fair to him. I told him we didn't owe them cutting off our family for them. I told him he should be putting us first too. We're still his, and we don't have another parent to advocate for us. He told me I should show more compassion and love for my siblings, not just Callie. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. I don't know where you live, but soon you'll be 18 and your sister just behind you. Talk to your maternal family and see if they'll take you in. Legally, they won't have any say for you once you're 18 years old, and your sister will be able to have her say in court if necessary. I think I lost count, but your dad has what, like 10 kids? I don't think he can do much legally if it goes to court for your sister. I wouldn't suggest leaving her there alone for 2 more years. Your dad wants you and your sibling to have disadvantages because the others have disadvantages. What kind of logic is that? Will he forbid you from going to college if the others can't? And to be dramatic, if one of your siblings has an accident and ends up in a wheelchair, is he going to force all of you to stop using your legs? Ask your dad if everything has to be equal. Why do some of the children have their biological mom but not you? Not to mention, your father's modeling how to treat your family because he cut off his own parents and siblings. Why should you do more than he's willing to do with his own family? Your dad is being ridiculous. Enjoy your mother's family. I, 27 male, am engaged to Sienna, 26 female, and we're having some trouble with her mom, May. I mostly get along with Sienna's family, even May typically, but she's always been a little intrusive into my family life and wants to know details that are really none of her business. I don't have a close family or a family at all, really. My mom was a train wreck of a person who destroyed her life when she was previously married by cheating and getting involved with some shady guys, which ended her marriage and caused tension with her 2 kids from her ex-husband. She ended up pregnant with me, and there were 3 guys who could have been the father, and none were happy with the situation she made. When my father was confirmed, she chose another guy instead, and my father left the picture. My mom ended up losing custody of me when I was a toddler because she wasn't taking care of me and was letting her boyfriend mistreat me. They were involved in criminal activities that she had a long history of by that point. Her other children's father was given sole custody of them, and he was asked by a social worker to take me. He initially said no. Then someone, and I don't know who, told him that his kids would hate him forever if he left me to the system. So he took me in and let me live with them until I turned 18. But his kids didn't want me, and he sure as heck didn't either. So while I had a family, in the sense that I grew up with other people in the same house, nobody actually wanted me there, and it was made very clear to me by my mother's other children that I wasn't their sibling, and that they didn't hate their dad for not taking me because they didn't want me. Their father wasn't exactly hostile to me, but he was cold, and he made it very clear I was not his kid. By the time I turned 17, I was on my own, because he realized his kids had never loved me, and I was dropped with the knowledge that nobody would come for him for leaving me at 17 when I was already working. I have nothing to do with them now, or my mother, my father, or my extended family. Sienna comes from a very complicated blended family. May appears to have a very defensive view of blended families. Being aware of my past, she has pressured me to reach out and invite my family to my wedding. To her, my family means the man who raised me and his kids. Sienna has told her that that won't be happening, and we stopped seeing her for a period of time because of her insistence on bringing it up. May finally decided to tell me I owed her the whole story, and she'll be able to help me make amends with my family because that's what's best for everyone. I told her she was so clueless if she thought things worked that way, and I told her she needed to mind her own business because I don't owe her my whole background. Sienna kicked May out, but not before May told me I had spoken to her harshly when all she was doing was helping. Am I the idiot? Nope, you're all good, not the idiot. I hate people who have this weird savior complex when it comes to family. It's annoying and disrespectful to think that the world is a puzzle where everything fits neatly into place. It doesn't. Your family are terrible people, and you have nothing to make amends for. I would consider going low or no contact with your fiance's mom for a while. Who is May to tell you how to feel? Why do I feel that she's not as popular with her own kids as she thinks she is? End of the day, OP. You are allowed to feel how you do, and no one can try to force you to have a relationship with family members who were clearly abusive to you. I'd almost reconsider inviting May to your wedding, as I wouldn't put it past her to turn up with your relatives for a surprise reunion. May is playing savior. She wants credit to heal your family when there's no healing to be done, as they aren't your family, so to speak. Family doesn't treat children the way you were treated. I'm sorry that happened to you, and I'm sorry May's trying to open these wounds with her salty fingers. If she was truly a genuine person, she would respect the boundaries. Stick to your guns. You'll have much more peace if you do.